I thought I'd talk a bit about my glow up because these videos seem to be quite popular on YouTube, and when I do see them it tends to be someone that literally puts on makeup and looks exactly the same and they haven't really had a glow up. So I thought I'd just kind of go through a few of the products that I use and a few things I've done to change my life. So the first thing I did is I obviously changed my diet, and I feel like I've gone through every diet that there is. I've really tried. It's what works for me. I've dabbled with loads of things in the past. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning, how it all started off. So it all started off where, I don't know if you remember a few years ago, the whole phase of clean eating, which has now been diagnosed as people having orthorexia, where people are just so restrictive with their diet, they won't eat anything bad. And I don't want to say the lady I was following, I probably should, but I was following this lady that was seen as the start of the clean eating diet basically, and I was kind of following what she was doing. And that's at the point where I started getting into YouTube because I really wanted to lose weight, and I was following a lot of these influencers that were giving diet advice. And in hindsight, they probably shouldn't have been because they were not qualified and they were not dietitians at all. And following that kind of diet really upset my gut health because I was cutting out a load of food groups. At one point, I even convinced myself that I had an allergy to dairy, and I was just convinced that any small bit of dairy that I would have would just set my stomach off. I wouldn't have dairy at all. I was following this diet and I was still overweight, and I was like, why is it not working? I'm cutting out all these food groups and I'm not losing weight. And it was just really messing up my diet. And I know being vegan can really work for some people, but for me, it didn't work at all. All the soy was upsetting my stomach and it just wasn't working. Through like trial and error, I've kind of, obviously I'm not a dietitian myself, but I've found the diet that works for me is a kind of half keto, half paleo kind of hybrid diet, where my diet is protein and vegetables and fruit. And I do eat some carbs, but for me, cutting out the carbs and the sugar definitely contributed to my weight loss. And I'll have like pasta nowadays sometimes. I definitely notice the difference. As soon as I eat pizza, I will put on weight. It's as if, for me, eating wheat, I put on loads of weight. For me, it just works to just keep my diet quite simple with whole foods. That's what's worked for me. And that's how I've managed to lose the weight. It is difficult talking about weight because it can trigger people. I've done it for me because I feel better thinner. I feel better on camera. I feel more confident. What is actually quite sad is that I saw a direct correlation with the thinner that I became, the more people watched my videos. And that is actually quite sad, the fact that people won't listen to a female unless they're thin. And I was thinking of this concept of thin first. It's almost as if for women to be taken seriously, they have to be thin first. I've seen loads of people in the motivational world that are male and they're overweight, and we live in a society where we accept men being overweight. Men are allowed to be overweight and in a position of power. But sadly, the same is not for women. For women to be taken seriously, they need to be thin first, and it is how the world works. It's sadly, we're not on a level playing field for men and women, and let's not go down the road about how the patriarchy doesn't exist. I'm not really going to go down that road, but there is definitely pressure on women to be thin, to be taken seriously, and that is sad. There's always this fear that people have that overweight people are lazy, they have no discipline, they have no motivation. But for me, it was completely different. I think everything was out of whack. Mentally, everything was out of whack. My hormones were out of whack. And I don't care what you say, it is harder for females to lose weight because they have more going on with their hormones than men. It is much easier for men to lose weight because they don't have that fluctuation of the menstrual cycle each month that contributes to weight gain and how they feel and their moods. I have kind of loosened up a bit, like obviously it's my birthday and I've slacked a bit and I've gone out a bit more and had pizza, and I think that's healthy to show balance. I don't want to live a life where my diet is so rigid that I can't exist and I have to turn down social opportunities. Also, this changed my whole life, this tool. It is, well, it's called I want to say gua sha. I hope I haven't murdered that. But there's a load of stuff online about this, and it's a facial massage tool. And it really changed the way my face looked because I was losing weight and I couldn't work out why my face looked so puffy and inflamed. And of course, I was losing weight and my body was thinner, and I was still getting people trolling me saying, "You're fat, you're fat." And I was like, but I'm losing all this weight. Why are people trolling me? And it's because my face was so inflamed. Using this, it's honestly changed the shape of my face. And even some people ask me, like, how have you lost so much weight on your face without, surgery or whatever? And it's literally just using this. And there's loads of stuff on YouTube about it. And it's basically just massaging your face and draining all the lymphatic it's just a massage tool for your face. That's what I was so concerned about, is that people were just looking at my face and thinking that I was fat when I just held a lot of water in my face. Yeah, it has really changed, and that with a combination of eating right, etc., has really helped. And in terms of exercise, I still go running, and that's the main thing I do. I don't go to the gym, but it's just a combination of that has just really changed what my appearance looks like. And the second thing I use is obviously not sponsored, and I wouldn't recommend anything unless I really loved it. It's this L'Oreal Hydrating Smoothing Serum, and it's honestly been like a game changer in my skin, and I've really noticed the difference in my skin. It's really cheap. I can't remember the exact price, but you can get it anywhere, and it has really changed my skin and it's taken away fine lines, and that's really helped. And I use that when I do my facial massage as well. And it's just made me a bit more confident, and because there is so much in the media about women aging and how it's so bad for women to age. And I honestly feel more of a struggle being single and aging, because I think when women are married or with someone, they feel, obviously they're going to feel pressure about aging, but I feel there's less of a pressure if you're with someone. If you're single and as you age, there's definitely more pressure on having to look young to snap someone up. And women definitely feel that pressure. Even if using night creams is a complete placebo, it makes me feel better and it makes me feel happier. So I do it. And obviously, I don't drink as well. And me not drinking, you can definitely see the difference in my skin compared to other people my age. I don't think I look my age at all. Like, I don't even have a problem with my age. It's my birthday's tomorrow. And there is in the back of my mind thinking, oh, I'm a year older. I'm going to be a year older. But I feel that I don't really mind about my age, but I feel that society has a problem with my age. That's why I don't really mention it, because there's definitely a societal pressure on how old a woman is and if she's past her best. But just because you've reached 30, it doesn't mean that that's it, that that's over. It's something I constantly have to work on, to be wary of what I read, what I consume, and even I've had to tail off from a lot of podcasts, because honestly, it just seems at the moment like, I know everyone has a podcast, and I just think having a podcast seems to be like the in thing. I generally think I'm doing something different and new and fresh, but obviously because I'm doing that, the algorithm's not picking it up because no one else is doing it. No one else is doing advice live through their life at the same time. No one's doing that niche. Everyone's just doing the same thing at the moment. It's all about narcissism, red flags, green flags, what you should say on a date, and no one's actually stopping to think and ask themselves, why are women unhappy? Why are women feeling like this? And they're just putting out this garbage generalized narrative. What I've seen in the past few weeks is people saying that women decide they want to find love at 35. But it's like, that is obviously not true. The majority of people are in my position and they have been searching for someone since their 20s. It's really insulting to put out this narrative that says that women just decide at 35 to want to settle down, because that's just not true. It's like, where are you getting this information from? I'm kind of fed up of men putting stuff on the internet about the female experience. It's like, you are not a female. Fine, talk about the male experience, that is fine, but stop talking about the female experience as if you know what it's like to be a female, because we know better than anyone else what it is. So my fourth glow up secret, it kind of happened by accident and it wasn't something that I intentionally planned. But like I said before, I stopped having sex and I really didn't want this to happen. As you know, if you've watched my channel for a long time, I've wanted to find someone and I've been trying to find someone, and I was proactive about it. I went on dating apps, I asked people out, I just really put myself out there. But not having sex really helped me. It really helped me heal from emotional damage that I'd experienced in my life. Sometimes people probably look at my podcast and think that I'm anti-women having sex, and I'm not. I really want women to go out and have amazing sex lives. It's just, for me personally, I needed that time to heal and to really overcome what I had experienced at the hands of men, basically, and how they had made me feel and how they'd made me feel used. How I felt that my sexuality has been used against me by men. And that's why I took some time away from dating. I want to really wait for someone that respects me when I have sex again. For me, it's really helped, but now I almost feel like I've waited too long and it's now oh, it's going to be awkward doing it again. But half of it wasn't my fault. Half of it was because of the pandemic, and that just extended the period of not having sex. It has helped me now, but obviously it's just so hard to find someone in hookup culture, because I've made videos on this before, but it's, you're going on a date and men expect sex, and that's what I find difficult. Is I'm made to feel like I'm in the wrong generation and I'm a prude, and I really don't want to be the poster girl for celibacy, because celibacy is not a natural state for humans to be in. We are supposed to be with people and we're supposed to be connected. That's why I don't make videos about celibacy, because I don't like the narrative of women waiting for sex, because I see it as just men holding power over women. And I think, why should a woman wait all that time to not have sex so that she has sex with a man, and then after she's had sex, what happens? She's just like everyone else. And she's just missed out on 10 years or whatever of sexual expression because she was waiting for one man. When in reality, when you have sex, nothing changes. You're just the same person. It's almost something that I didn't set out to do. I think it has benefited me in that I'm much better at picking men now. But in reality, once you do get better at picking men, the irony is you have less sex, you have less options to pick from. No one side of the argument is better. It is annoying though when I see, for instance, I saw this other influencer the other day and they put out a heartbreak video, and then 2 months later they had a new boyfriend, and It blows my mind how people can find boyfriends so quickly. How can these women seem to go from boyfriend to boyfriend and find new boyfriends when I've been struggling for years to find like one boyfriend? How can people leapfrog from relationship to relationship? All I can think is they either must be cheating or there must be some kind of overlap period. These women are either just not picky, some people just like to be in a relationship because it's their natural default, or are these women just really lucky and they've just found someone they gel with? So I think this is going to be a really epic video. I don't know if people are actually going to listen to it, but if you do, it'll probably be, I think this will be my last video before Christmas. I usually take some time off at Christmas, mainly because I'm at my parents' and they still don't know I do YouTube. And obviously I don't vlog and I don't take my equipment anywhere with me, so I'm probably going to take 2 weeks off, but I'm still going to be doing the videos. If I don't see you, have a really nice Christmas, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, have a really nice time off, and I'll see you sometime in the new year.